So, hey everyone. So finally I can start building Drew's brewery. Yes, also the reference image is there. Alright. Just turn that a little bit more silent. Oh, now you can almost not hear it. So that should work. Now I have to reset everything and hopefully now everything works. I always have issues with the music, it seems. But yeah, most of this building is probably, well, going to extend a bit. Have to, especially just the tower in the center is what I wanted. The thing to the right, I mean, I also planned on having that. I have no idea about the thing on the left though. Seems like a round thing, like some sort of round extension, but I have no idea about like what's the actual purpose of it. Also, I have no idea what this building is supposed to be actually. Like this is a building out of 4. Or yeah, building out of 4. All the other 3 have like, oh, this is a smithy, this is like I don't know, alchemist. And this, no, nothing. Though I do see some like armor stands, so it might be weapons, but then this is really fancy for like a weaponsmith. But anyway, enough just thinking of that. Let's start building, because otherwise we won't get started. I have to quickly look like where I want to place it. It's probably going to go over here, but I might also switch this building around with this one, but that's going to be an obstacle because there's a thing back there. Yeah. It's going to be interesting. Hopefully everything is going to work. Because I also want to make an interior for this building. Let's just get started. First with the thing that actually requires an interior. What piece do I want to use? Because that's this like stone side to it, which I want. First, I want it to be quite a long building. And then you would have this tower that sticks out here. And it's only going to be like this big. Hey, Okapi. I'm literally just debating like, should I use this wood as the starting piece, because I need to, like, this is a really big fantasy building. I need to somewhat Norsify it. And I don't know how I'm going to do that. Also, why is this stuck on the 1 meter already? Big arches so that there's... Maybe I don't even have to think about how I'm going to do that just now. Because the first thing that I need to do is the windows. That's not what I wanted. Yeah, it's this one. Yes, I haven't started recording yet because the entire color scheme that I have in menu right now is the one for Estan's build. That's not... There's a lot of dark reds in that one. Alright, let's start the recording and let's see where it takes us. Maybe this is too big. Because remember, Drew is a dwarf in my world. Doesn't mean that this building needs to be tiny, it just means it needs to be a little bit smaller. So maybe this. That doesn't work. I think this makes it a little bit more sense. Although having the 4 meter would make it more impressive. I think it all depends on like how thick the walls are going to be. Going to take this one. Though. Oh, I thought my game was stuck for a second. I need to get the color of the stones. There's a lot of things that I'm going to pace back and forth for. Because again, Estan's build, the color scheme doesn't match the one from Valhalla. Not even in the slightest. It's weird to have seagulls when Valhalla isn't adjacent to any sea. Am I? No, Valhalla is like way inland. Like the original idea was for Valhalla to be like a fjord, but that idea has really quickly changed. So that. Then I can actually change these ones to that. And then that. And then putting these in. It's kind of fitting though that Drew is in Valhalla while Estan is in Kianabashar. Like, you know, you need to keep those two separate, otherwise they will kill each other. Not really, but let's just imagine. Then I need to get the middle of these two things. Not that. Up. It's going to be fun making this interior though. I had to do research on how a brewery looks like. Which was fun. Also shows that this build's a little bit more involved than S10's. Because I didn't do that much research for S10's build. I'm really going to inflate Drew's ego by building this. But it's Valhalla. It's the place for inflated egos. No idea why I'm doing this, but I want it, so I'm going to build it. You can try to stop me, but you will most likely fail. You need to have this the same height as this one, though. Or maybe you do that. Like this. I'm already slightly hating myself because it's not completely aligned. So oh, that is in the middle. This is going to be a bit higher though, because oh yeah, glass isn't going to go all the way down. Does kind of look like a stable now though. Hey, maybe this building once was a stable, then was converted into a meadery. Can I still use... Yes. Actually, I can still use the 4-meter one. Just is a little bit of a smoother window. Although now it's going to be hell on earth to try and fix that. And I want to get as far with this building as possible. I say that every stream that I'm like, oh, I want to get as far as possible. But this time I mean it. I also said that every stream, but I don't have an excuse. Can I get these ones? I missed one of them. This back wall, I actually don't have to do anything with it because it's going to be half sunken into a mountain. Just have to make sure that this one lets in a little bit of light. No idea how I'm going to do that, but somehow everything is going to work out. Somehow. Need to get... I haven't used the plaster wall piece in such a... or painted wall piece in such a long time now that I don't know where it is. Here it is. Also, it needs to extend. Wait, I can do that with the pillars. Then thing on top of that is like 4 meters. Again, Drew is a dwarf in this world. Why am I building his building so tall? Because he is a proud dwarf. He's a proud dwarf that doesn't listen to rules. get it? Yes. Let's say 4. I will see if this is too much or not enough. I think it's enough. I might have made the top too tall, but you can always delete stuff. There's a slight... Boom. So. And then I can now... Yeah, I'm going to first build a wall. Like, it's better to just first make sure that you... that's too white. This would have been the perfect place to use that, but it's too bright. I don't like my buildings being too bright. Yeah, I'm going to make it a bit taller though, so that's like 2 stories. Or at least 2 dwarf stories. That's... So... But make it slightly... I know, I'm using beige again. It's my favorite color. Well, that's not true. My favorite color is green, but... I just like the color beige. Does look really tall though. Again, proud, arrogant dwarf. That's just my excuse for everything in this build. Oh, it's too big? Drew is a proud and arrogant dwarf. He's going to make his building a bit bigger than what probably should be the case. Also, my experiment from last stream was a success. The stream didn't get 50 copyright claims. Which I deem a success. And that's where I didn't copy the wall. Boom, 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 boom. If you don't make sounds when you're copying things, are you really copying things? You need to make sounds when you're copying things. There's one window there that's open, but I have no idea how I'm going to be able to do that. Also, there are 2 extensions, but I want 3. Because this is a bit longer. Well, actually, comparing it to the tower, I actually need to make this one longer. I don't mind making it longer, because so far we have very... Like, the tavern and the smithy are actually quite small buildings. Or small... They're not that broad. Is I think the best way to describe it. So, can I now get the 4 meter from that side? Thank you. Alright, what do I need to delete? Oh, I don't need to delete anything, I need to add something. itchy. That was very useful commentary. Itchy. Very pointy roof. Also the first one that has like that sort of... Wait, now that I look at the tower is round. And has an extra tower connected to it. This is the annoying thing when you only see the front. That tower didn't look round when I looked it up. I also have no idea what piece I was looking for. Ah yeah, plaster. The only pieces that can somewhat mix that aren't the same style. Plaster and the mud brick. That's not the right piece. Or not right, excuse me, right color. So how far am I going to push this one out? I hate it when I think I did that myself, but it's really annoying when things are on the 0 meter thing. I think that, but then I also need to make it taller. So, and then it needs to have a very pointy roof. That's too pointy though. Again, just a tip for everyone, if you're going to build an interior, don't do what I do or am doing right now. Build the interior first before you build everything else. But I don't listen to my own advice. I want to build the shell first this time. So, tip for all of you guys, basically don't do what I do, do as I say. Hey Luna. How are you doing, Luna? I think the best one to use would be this one. But this one is too small, so it would be this one. No idea how to make it look like this one is open though. So I'm not going to make it look like it's open. Oh, and it needs to be on a bit of a height. Because it's a... Is it a window? I don't think so, actually. I was about to be productive when I noticed you're streaming. Yeah, don't you get annoyed when you get that feeling that you need to be productive? I mean... What was I going to say again? Sometimes you have a thought and then it's just like... Poof, gone. You know, we will make Drew's place a little bit fancy with some nice carved wooden pieces. You know, it's a brewery. The bane of working from home, the constant stress of not working enough. Yeah. For me, everything is just closed down to college and all of that, so I don't really have much to do. Just want to add. This isn't actually even a window. This is just, well, if it works. Well, that way it looks like a window. I think that way is, no, it's not flat. What? This isn't a window. This is scenery or decoration. But I'm going to use it as a tiny window above this. But yet, not a window. Oh. No. Actually, now it works. Not. I think it's too pointy. Actually, it works. In a way. But hey, it's Drew's build, or not really, it's still my build, but you know, Drew has a thing with realism, so I wanted to make his build the most fantasy one that I could make. So it works. This is for yep. We're right now in Valhalla as well. Like I tend to just, as soon as I lose inspiration for Canal Shah, I just hop into Valhalla. I should actually hop into Isla Pacifica, but I just I don't have any inspiration for Isla Pacifica. No idea why. Because especially like Isla Pacifica right now is about building the town. So, I've no idea what Frontier wanted us to do with these birds, but they make excellent decoration for weird things. No, really, what did Frontier want us to do with these birds? I think it needs to be a bit higher. Because I just want that rounded bit. Like a lot of things from the Arctic pack, I'm like, what did you want us to do with this actually? Like I've never used this wolf piece. Although it could actually work here, surprisingly. But there are just a lot of pieces in the Arctic pack where it's just like, I have no idea where you thought we could use this, but alright. Needs to be a little... Luckily nothing in Planet Zoo is actually round. If you look closely you can see the straight pieces and corners. Random Viking flourishes. Yeah, but this is a mythical bird. It's a chicken. Don't call it a mythical bird if it literally looks like a chicken. I mean, I love this base because I can use it for actually a lot of things. But I also have no idea what Frontier actually wanted us to use it for. Because it looks like it needs to go on top of something. But then... what? I also have no idea what I'm doing with this roof. I do know, however, that... do you know that the chicken is in the same family as the Indian peafowl? Well, I did suspect that. Need to make this a bit higher. So and this was probably supposed to be used as a fence piece. I'm not going to use it as a fence. It's like so many pieces. I was like, this was definitely meant to be used as that. I don't think I've ever used it as that. Like, maybe I've used this as a fence once. That's definitely not the right curve. Also, oh. So, then here the round or the curve going outward should start. Only slightly outwards though. Just so that snow that doesn't collect on the roof, but also doesn't immediately go off in an avalanche. I really think that this roof, just in general, needs to have a bit more of an overhang. And this is all meant to make it really fantasy-like, so really against everything that Drew stands for, basically. Let's make it like that. Delete. Oh. Need to grab those pieces. Tails are about there. Do the same there. Spot there. Yeah, this would not survive an earthquake, but still looks cool. Yeah, I don't think any building that I've built so far will survive an earthquake. Maybe the Royal Palace in Ken Bashar. Maybe. Although I highly doubt it now that I think about it. These beams are too massive. This works. Nah, it doesn't work actually. Maybe if I need the square beam though. And then sink it in. So then I have a smaller. Alright, this is supposed to be the soundtrack of The Witcher, so I know that there's going to be things or sounds like this. Still surprised. I live 15 kilometers away from the epicenter of Croatian earthquakes. The ground is still shaking after 10 days. Yeah, the thing in the Netherlands that I have to be most afraid of is like a dike or dam breaking. I'm really happy that I don't live in like a earthquake zone. Oh, this one does have a so just extend it a little bit. Alright, well, the idea that I had doesn't work. Because it's going to stick through the roof. Although this also sticks through the roof. Yeah. Birdie, go away. Need to get rid of those things. And then actually I forget one thing. Although now I can't use what I always use, so I need to use something else, which is not that hard. So roof finished. That wasn't the thing I was going for. I want to have a little bit of space left on that one. Again, I'm going to inflate Drew's ego so much by this, because this is already way more involved than Astan's build. But then it's become the national pastime to somewhat bully Astan. We don't hate Astan, it's just I've become the playground bully against Astan. Oh, and here I can use my newfound... well... that. Yeah, this really draws into your fantasy. That one in the middle. That one as well. Or should I go for the... where is it? Where? Oh, that's too large. That music. Oh my god, yes. Never used this piece before, but with this it's just yes, although it does remind me a little bit of Hogwarts. Just a teeny bit. But I was actually looking for something else. But I don't know where it is. Ah, here it is. These ones are smaller though. Can I actually use the back? Not that way. Make this go a little bit. An idea is forming. Hey Natalie. Very fancy. Yep. Again, just because Drew is... well, and mostly... when I first found Drew, basically, or beyond Drew, the first thing that I saw was, oh, this guy likes his realism. Yeah, if I'm ever going to build something for you, you're not going to get realism. You're going to get pure fantasy. But then I also need to like Viking this building a little bit, or Norsify it, because it is supposed to be in Valhalla. Yeah, let's do that. Just sink it in so that it somewhat fits a little bit better. Really, thanks to building all of these buildings from reference, I really figured out how to not have everything aligned. because while it is a very handy way to make things, it also somewhat stops you from really trying out some things. There is, I think, something behind there. We will see. So, like this. Only the Dutch people will recognize this, but this really looks like it could be in the Efteling. For anyone who isn't Dutch, that's a theme park in the Netherlands. I'm sitting on my foot again, so my foot is falling asleep. Tip for everyone, don't sit on a foot or something. Your foot will fall asleep and then you're going to be sad. I want to do something with this one, but I don't know what. Like, this is supposed to be like storage up here, so they shouldn't have too much actually when it comes to windows, because there would be no real point in having them. So I probably should make them like as utilitarian as possible. That word came out real smooth. Hey, Blue Lina. I loved the Efteling when I was young. Even as an adult, it's still a world of fantasy. Yes. The Efteling, rides and like roller coasters, it's certainly not the best one, but theming wise, it is one of the best. Or at least that's my opinion of the Efteling. Rides wise, not the best. Theming wise, definitely one of them. It's always fun though to like go to the Efteling with someone who isn't Dutch, just to kind of see how other people react to it. I don't think... This is the annoying thing though. One of these beams is further forward than the other. And you can't change anything about that, I think. Unless... But then you have smaller beams. Does this one have them? No. Also equal. Or not equal. Nothing in here. I'm just going to look in the Arctic packets. Content, Arctic. I also think that Drew doesn't use the Arctic pack too much, so... Like, they're always just that bit off. This one is the closest, actually. But then, of course, that's not the one I use. So I use this one. No, that's also not the one I used. What the... Why make it so difficult, Frontier? And I don't want to use this one. just have to sink this one in a bit further. For me, they were the first theme park to really go nuts on the fancy part. And that's all thanks to, well, according to the documentaries, 2 designers. The first one and then the one who took over after the first one retired. Well, it's not solely thanks to them, but they drew up the most of like how all of it looks. I mean, it has a certain Norse-esque style. It's definitely still fancy, especially with those large windows. Why? Well, that's like a lot of pieces I want to use, but they're just not quite there. Then it's just like, why? You would be perfect, but no. You had to ruin it. Can I use it here? I think it's... No, let's make this one special. Yeah. I have an itchy knee for some reason. Whenever I start streaming, my body just says, yeah, let's make this part of you itch. Most of the time it's my ear though. It seems my body is allergic to streaming. Dead. How much do I want this to be over? Let's just do it like that. Like for anyone who plays Planet Zoo, there's always that one piece that would be perfect in your builds, but it's just not. Also, yes, every roof in Valhalla, or at least I tried to make, every roof in Valhalla curve like this. In a way it makes sense, because it's like the snow will fall down, but it will be kept here for a little bit so that it's not just avalanche city. Because I do think that Valhalla in winter would get a very heavy snowfall. No idea how high this roof now is. Just it might get a little bit too high. Yeah, I need to curve it a little bit less. But I don't want to curve it any less than this. But I think I will have to. Otherwise it's going to be an insanely tall roof. I mean, I can try to like... Actually that works a little bit. And then... I can have the roof like this. And do that. Let's see where that ends us up. Or makes us end up. I need to find my favorite piece again. I don't know why I have all of them favorites, since I only use the smallest one, which also isn't the most handy because I'd keep losing them. It's almost there. It's definitely fantasy though. Drew is going to hate this. Need to make this higher just so that I can see. Oh, it's riding. I thought that was like somebody gasping for air. Needs to be brought in one. Yep. This should be the same height. But for some reason it isn't. Oh. That's why it isn't the right height. It's like 1 meter higher. I think. I hope. I'm just going to find a 1 meter. I don't think it's 1 meter. I think it's like a little bit. Yes. Of course it isn't. Going to make this one broader though. Again, just so that it sticks out. Now the roof works. And I think if I made the roof actually the size that it is in the drawing, like it looks good on drawing, but from the ground up it would look tiny because of perspective and such. So this actually works. Yes, and I don't have to do weird stuff to make the roof actually go well with the dormers. So yeah, this actually works. Because from the ground up, well, now I'm below ground, you just have an average roof. Now I'm happy. I would be insanely happy if this works, but it doesn't. Because the center of this roof is not centered against this wall. Because that shouldn't be more like that. Again, don't do as I do right here. Build your interior first, because it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier. But I never listen to my own advice. Here my inner Dutchman is coming through with this, basically. Where... there it is. There's actually a center to this one, so that's easier. And then finding the... And then raise these ones up. Now it looks a little bit alright. A little bit, not completely. I'm still making every Dutch person in the world cringe, but better. I'm also just really happy that this building is from only one side. And now I can delete it because it's all not centered. I already had a sneaking suspicion. What is the center of this roof then? It's none of these. Or is it this? I'm just going to see if this roof has a center actually. Or at least a center that I can somewhat... Nope. To find the center of this roof. Basically, this is the center. And so I have to... So this wall is just never going to really work. Alright, how am I going to do this? You know what, I'm just going to build it out from this center. We will see what happens. If within 15 minutes you hear quiet sobbing, then I've probably given up. Well, I won't have given up, I will just be sobbing. It would be a thing though, if a simple roof is going to destroy me. Today's stream is brought to you by Why. We have faith in you. Good, because I don't. Well, I know that I'm going to be able to. Let's start over again, because that didn't give us the center. But these two are centered. Also, hey Slug, you're about to see a mental breakdown. Alright. Oh yeah, I can see it now. You see that tiny little change? That's why everything was on just a slight tilt. Because these two aren't completely aligned, so then everything is on a tilt, and that makes for a sad Poisonblade. Hey, Miss Equinox. But I think we have averted a mental breakdown. I don't know for how long. But so far, we're good. Oh, wait, don't have to do that. You can just get this. Also, for any newcomers coming in, I'm building a meadery or brewery for Drew. I know he built me a murder shack, which works because he started calling me B-Blades. But by now I don't really mind the name anymore, but I mean, in my mind, Drew is an alcoholic dwarf. I know he's taller than me. But he's still an alcoholic dwarf. He won't escape that. He will always stay an alcoholic dwarf to me. We need to find a suitable name for this alcoholic dwarf though. Because Drew doesn't really fit as a, you know, a dwarf name. Are you a duchy? Yes. Let's see. Because I want to make this centered, of course. Which would mean that it would be extending that far. So let's try that. So this would make it centered. I think I can remove 2 of these. And it would still like work. Boom. Let's go with that. So, I need to sit upright again. Because that's the thing that I start doing in every stream. I start slouching. Or, yeah, slouching, I think. I never can form proper English words. But now it's just fun to see what comes out of my brain. Alright, let's do... Wait. Nope, nope. Get back in here. If you put this higher, then make it so that this goes lower. And then this one also goes like that. And then, because there's a tiny fence on this thing, I can use my favorite fence. Which is, of course, an Arctic one. But I need to... well, actually, I can make it this high, because I think from the ground up... So... And boop, 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 boop. Oh wait, no, it was correct, I just didn't do that. I was about to like go insane of like, did I do this wrong again? Now everything should... Where did I place that fence? I heard a click, but... Nope. It's fine. Everything is fine. Warning, existential crisis coming up. It's just this freaking roof. Like, how is it making this? It's so difficult. Can I line it up if I use this window? No, because that window isn't aligned. Which one is this aligned? This one. Alright, so if I use these two, then it should put me in the middle. Then it should give me a straight. Yes! Also, why did I delete that? Of course it's Drew's build that's going to give me an existential crisis. Oh, I completely forgot to finish those dormers off. In my brain that sounded slightly less sexual than when it came out of my mouth. Only slightly though. So. Alright. That was really all that needed to happen. Oh, and there's an extension here. There's some barrels, I think, here. Although I'm not going to go, like, I mean, I already changed things here. What does need to happen, though, is this one. If you are going to give me an existential crisis, then I'm going to burn you. That. I've no idea what the thing is called, so I'm just going to look for it. There it is. Attachment point. It's just an iron ring, Frontier. Don't become fancy. I become a little bit snarky when I'm on the edge of an existential crisis. I also can't speak. That. Also, because this is probably going to be for like loading up barrels and such, or like the ingredients to make meat or ale. Is the rope in here? No, it of course isn't. Is the rope in here? Yes. But hey, at least Drew didn't see me have an existential crisis. Because that would have been disastrous. And then... we don't really have a hook for this, but it's going to work. It's annoying for the rope that you can't really see if it's completely attached though. And this should have like a little bit more support. I'm really happy that a lot of these things you won't see. Though the most happy I am is because I don't have to decorate the back. Erases all proof of the crisis. What crisis? I'm completely fine. What are you talking about? Oh yeah, it is a roof. I have no idea why you would want a flat roof in the Arctic. I mean, with the snow. You're just going to be shoveling snow off your roof, but... Hey, everybody needs a hobby. Doesn't really look that great from the inside, but you're not really going to see that. So should I think about that? Of course I am. So, getting these ones. But again, this is why you do the interior of a building first, because now I have to angle the camera at in a specific way. That piece, that piece, that piece, that piece. Let's just deselect that because it's not completely the same otherwise on the other side. I can't select those. Again, if you are not making sounds, are you really selecting something? Yeah, a lot of the noises that I make while building is just boop, 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 boop. It might be very childlike, but it also keeps me sane. Turn it around. And looks already a lot nicer and a lot more stable. And it would still work because the main support structure is these walls, not the beams. Although the wood is supporting, in a way, wood, because this isn't stone. And then just getting these beams. I'm going to make this one out of wood though. Or at least the lower part. Like right up until... there, and then it continues in this. I'm not going to overextend this because the last one we barely survived. This is just going to be a nice square. I want to make it larger though. Oh, and it's supposed to be larger, of course. Although the... If I do it like that... I think that's going to be way too large though. But it can't... I need to make this higher then, because it can't intersect with those walls then. Because otherwise I need to replace... I literally only would need to replace one window, but that's like already too much work for me. I know that the doors in the picture are open, but we already have this large indoor section, or interior section. We were already this close from a mental breakdown, so I'm not going to be bothered by trying to make that door look open. Maybe, like, I know that we're not going to be able to finish this thing, like that's going to be impossible. So this needs to then go one further that way. This one needs to go, yeah, one further that way. And then it's still a perfect circle. But it doesn't look good because it's like overextended as fuck. Meh. This is the max that I can overextend this without it looking weird. I also have no idea what I'm going to do with that like massive window. Wait. If I keep this on the sides, then delete this, then the next layer I can overextend. Oh yeah, but then it's going to look like way too broad. Everything is fine. Well, not everything. My nose is itchy. It's never fine when something itches. This has massive beams. So let's create massive beams. Well, creating massive beams is not that difficult. Just turn it around so that the texture is not completely the same. Then, if I'm correct, you should. And then pick up these ones. Massive beams. Can we just acknowledge, like, the moment that that tower got a little bit more difficult, I went for beams. The guy just straight up flat. I think these beams are a little bit too chunky though. So a little bit of fancy. I so badly want to turn this into a clock tower. So badly. Wait, can I... Boop, boop. It's still in contact with the wall. Yep, it goes slightly in. Now I have a little bit more room to do something with it. I'm just going to pause the recording here because I want to check if this building actually works. I mean, it works. Doesn't really have any sunlight. Well, it does at 12. How is the building going to look? Whoa. Come on, camera, work with me. Where's the lookout post? There it is. Eventually it's going to look better. I hope. But it is a tall building. It's a very tall, chunky boy. No idea why I said it like that. Without knowing it, the music has actually moved forward. So, there's something flickering. From what I see, I need to actually continue this roof. Till it's like... yeah, that was very descriptive until it's like... I'm going to make this entire thing overextend though. Even though it's going to slightly glitch. But the most time that you will like see this building, you will probably stand still. But at least now the entire thing is like centered. I really don't want a repeat of the last thing. What did I say about sitting on my foot? Just going to use these beams again. Again, if you have built something that you can use, why shouldn't you use it again? And these are going to be covered up by those giant whatchamacallits. Spiry extensions. That's what we're going to call them. Alright, so this is going to be the height of the doorway, so there's like one story above that. Or two when it comes to dwarf. Then 2 stories above that, and then you have the giant window. So probably should make this a little bit taller. Because it's all perspective. Also, right now the building isn't S-damp proof. We don't have any... Well, we have custom roofs, so that might chase him off. So... Again, eventually this is all going to look a lot better. Now it looks kind of... I wouldn't say crappy, but it doesn't look completely right either. I'm going to use that beam. Actually, I should probably start with this one. Yeah, take the smaller one. Move it a little bit further. Yep. Nice birdish. And then there are literally 2 arches. Well, we just found my favorite piece, so I'm going to use that one. Where was it again? Because as long as I can hide the top, then we have just 2 perfect arches. I think the other one is in here somewhere. You can never find it when you look for it. Which would work if there wasn't this inset into it. Maybe if we turn it around. Then we also have that arch. I think that actually looks better. Again, this was a piece that before this, like before I really went back into Valhalla, I never used it. Maybe if we do it like that. I need a stone pillar just to check something out. I mean, that would make it look better. Like, without a doubt, that would make it look better. Yes. Then push it back a little bit. And push it to the front again. Like, I hate that it's not completely aligned. But I also really like it. think though that these also need to just be pushed back. Maybe even lower these ones. But at this point I'm just freehanding it. I have no idea what I'm doing. But as long as the end result looks good, then it should be alright. That's just the end goal of today's video. If the end result looks good, then all's good. So shouldn't have moved it, because it was in the perfect middle. Can I just move this back? Yes. Now I don't think we actually need these anymore. I think these right now are even too much. Although, I do think that we need to lower this thing in its entirety. I hope I picked up everything. I didn't. But nobody's going to notice that beam. So is it essential? I think the ones that we now need is this one. Although, just do that. Turn them around so that they don't go through everything. So and make these a bit higher. Oh wait, you're not going to see these ones. Never mind. Because I do want those whatchamacallits. You're going to see this one, This one. Push it all back. Like, you might not even see this one. But just for the sake that it's there, I really start to like this tower now. I'm just thinking, so why was that there? To make this entire under section wood instead of having it We're just going to keep it like that for now, and we will see afterwards. Because I think the most important thing right now is the upper part of the tower, because that's the most decorated one and also the most what the fuck one. Again, if anyone thinks that I'm creative, just go to Pinterest and you will find 1,000 people who are definitely more creative than I am. Without any shred of a doubt. Because who the hell came up with this thing? Like, this is a miracle. Like, how somebody had the creativity to come up with this just blows my mind. This works. The only thing that I don't like is that these don't support the highest thing. So I'm going to select all of these. And see if changing them. Nope. Nope. I know you want to be clicked, but no. Yeah, that looks better. H. And then this is the easy part because this is aligned. And a little bit chunky. Again, I have no idea how much of this is actually going to be visible in the end. But we will see that when we get there. Can I move this so that we have a center? So now I can just easily clicks onto that one. I don't think... no. And I don't want to use these ones. Even though they look great, it's just literally that. That makes them, for me at least, basically unusable. Where's... this one could work. Like, I'm using this one everywhere right today. But it's just such a handy thing. Or I will need to make my own one, which is not going to be that difficult. So this is the middle, so if I go... that's far out. And do that. Go a little bit further than that. And it starts like halfway there. Use 2. This really reminds me of like Snow White's tower. Actually, yeah, I'm going to snap into that. Or not Snow White, the Evil Queen's tower. So I don't think this is can work. But then also in a way fitting again that it looks a lot like the Evil Queen's Tower when we're building something for Drew. Not saying that Drew is the Evil Queen. I'm just... yeah, I'm sort of saying that. This is supposed to be gold. I had a golden color before, but I don't anymore. Well, first things first, I should probably wait. Move this one a little bit forward. Doorway. Surprised that that worked. Well, with most of these things today, I'm surprised that they work. Now I'm going to have to make a... Well, actually... A lot of these things are like... Well, now I have to... Wait, actually... If I just use this piece... And place it so that's there. Grab it. Dome or circle creating 101. We withheld this information from Esden for so long. That this is just like the easiest way to create these. Yeah, let's create a little bit of dimension here. Not like that. Hey, Giorgio. So. Now I have to discover again what is the middle piece. So I can delete everything underneath that one. Then move it to the other side. Dome. In a way, I'm really happy that the experiment worked and that I can use the Witcher music without getting 50 copyright claims. In another way, I'm still a little bit hesitant with it, just because I have no idea what's coming. I want to make this arch a little bit. Maybe a bit more than that, though. Where is it? But Giorgio, how are you doing today? I also, just in general for everybody, I hope everybody's doing okay. I keep removing bits. But I wanted to really arch a little bit over because it does look like it could open and serve as like a balcony. And you know that Drew is going to want to like stare over everyone. I'm really just slamming Drew today. Alright, let's do that. You can't see it, so that's alright. But hey, he called me B-Blade. I have the full right to slam Drew. Or make fun of Drew. Yeah. Let's just heighten these. There's also supposed to be a beam behind this. Looks like it's in the center. Don't know for sure if it is, but we will see. Also, the tower isn't actually that big, so I can remove this upper layer. Not that much though. I can change that later. Because now I need to make this arch so much over. I did not know that I did that almost completely accurately. So. Up. What's up? And then boop, 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 boop. Turn. Whoa. Turning it around. Delete the longer version. Making sure that doesn't stick into the actual thing. And do the same here. I think the interior we will do next stream. But this is fun. At least so far I am enjoying myself. How are you guys doing? Because, well, it's basically just staring, watching me build. That's a meager piece count for me. Almost 2,000 pieces. And this isn't even really piece heavy when it comes to the roof. In my eyes, at least. Like, I fully understand that this for somebody else is probably very piece heavy. Alright, now I want to try and make those spire extensions. I think that's the last thing that I'm going to do for today. I love these kinds of buildings, so I could watch this for hours. Well, then you will... this is probably going to take 6 hours in total, so there's going to be quite a lot of this. Especially now that I've discovered the wonders that's Pinterest. That's not going to give me enough. Actually, because this is all wooden, which I actually like, because it ties it in with the rest of the area, I can just use these. Boop, boop. But that's always the... Well, I think this is like on every, how do you call it, content creator's mind when it comes to Plant Zoo. It's like, I'm not building anything with animals now, so might be a bit boring because of that. How tall do I need to make these ones? Really tall, because they need to go over this one, and they go into this. So, yeah, I don't have to worry about the height of these things. Because this is how tall one section needs to be. Yeah, let's do that. Wait, and yeah, these are just full on spires. I might have made this tower a little bit too large. Do these work? They do. And that's going to be the middle. Let's see if this works if I rotate it though. Like, that's the biggest thing right now. Will it work when I rotate it? Because I don't think so. I think I need to make it... Yep. But isn't that the exact reason people also watch your content? There are so many other creators that focus on the animal, lesser that focus on the buildings, I believe. That is true. But that's also... How do I properly explain this? Let's just say I haven't watched like the numbers of the channel in quite a long time. Because the numbers, like I can see of course the numbers of like the views and everything. But it very quickly makes you think like, oh, am I doing something wrong? If I'm like not... I don't know, getting these amounts of views or this or something. Now I think I made it too big. Yes, definitely made it too big. I think that for the other four, like, if I can just actually use this. Like, it's really how do you properly say it? It's really easy to fall in the loop of like, oh, I should do this or this or this or this because numbers. I think this is still too large, like far too large still. But I'm slowly getting there. Because these need to be like really thin, so it's more like that. Like it's really easy to just get drawn in by the numbers. I feel like you're sometimes not doing the correct thing if they don't. This would work, I think. I do need to make this smaller though. Like that. So I probably should just not look at the numbers. So, is this correct? I really hope that those lines are like somewhat aligned. So, let's see if this makes it work. Also, another thing, just for this music. I haven't played The Witcher fully. So that makes it even worse that I don't know what's like coming with when it comes to the music. I know it's like one of those games that you should have played, but I just haven't. I have it, but I just never got to really sit down and play it. Well, basically the game is like so large that it's just like yep, this is the correct size. Finally. Also, yes, Aston is going to hate this building because it's larger than his build. And I love that. I'm really starting to become like the playground bully for them. And again, I love it. That. Like, I know I shouldn't bully Aston, but I somehow just... Well, they call me B-Blade, so I... Again, I think I have a free pass. I also have no idea what these things were originally meant for, like... Where are you going to use this? Well, I can use it, but... I think like 80% of the people won't be able to use this. Or at least I mean, you can use it, I think, as a fence. I just never used it as a fence. There are a lot of things just that might make sense, but then also don't. Let's see if this works. Kinda does. Looks really rustic though. I don't think I actually need these ones anymore. Yep, don't need those. Throw them away. Not that one. I hate the autosave in Plan Pseudo because you get no warning. There's a lot of things that I hate in Plan Pseudo in a way, but mostly the autosave. One of the few times that this window works perfectly. Oh yeah, I need to also make the roof of this thing. The satisfaction though, when something just fits perfectly. Like, it's really annoying when something doesn't fit perfectly, or it's just like that little bit off. But then when you find something that's just like, it fits and looks great at the same time, like, that's just great. That feeling of like, I found it. I found the holy grail, basically. I'm just going to... How long have we been streaming? I have no idea. It's already like, why is this so depressing music? It's White Orchard. Please no ads. Please no ads. Yep. I need to make this pointy. Very accurate description, but my first instinct is really just immediately go to these. I also want to use this. And I mean, it does work. Maybe though that. Yep. Just to fancy it up a little bit. There's that thing. I really should use the tall ones because those you can easily find. I really one time on a stream just want to place a boop counter. And every time that I say boop, it just goes up. I mean, that's the entire purpose of a counter, but so many times I just say boop. Again, just because when something fits perfectly, it's amazing. Or when something just clicks immediately, because that's also an issue that you can sometimes have. Alright, this just needs to be a point. That's easy. Just this. Move it around. The lower one doesn't need to be a point. Ooh. Although I'm going to not make it a complete point. So looks good in my eyes. That doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite fit there, just because this is a little bit larger. I haven't actually tried if these beams would just fit there or not. It would be amazing if they did. Does fit. In a way. Like, not precisely, like these beams shouldn't be intersecting, but it actually works. Or at least in my opinion, it works. It makes it actually a little bit more detailed. What does Bob Ross say? Happy little accidents. Like, this isn't supposed to work, but it still does. Oh my god, yes. Again, if you think I'm creative, the one who drew this up is creative. Like, I would never think of adding this. I do want to like have the tower on top of it. It's going to require another pointy bit. Although that pointy bit is supposed to be white. Don't know if we will be able to achieve that. Because the only thing that I can think of using is this. And then angle it. Does actually work. Today is really a good day. I do hope that I don't have to connect these to the central spire though. Oh, but that doesn't. Although, if I just use this. Sink these in a little bit. Till you can almost see them. Yep. Again, today, for some reason, like, I don't want to stop building now because it's such a good day so far. Also, I recently discovered this. Deagles. Is it this one? Yep. Like, if you want those old style windows, you can use these ones. I do think that's a little bit too much though. At least for this building. We have like larger windows in not such a busy area, and I think that would really work well. I think this area just is right now a little bit too busy. I think here I can just use this, although like this isn't actually a window in a way. Would be the first time I use this, or at least the first time that I use this in Valhalla. You will find this all over the place in Canopshire, but not in Valhalla. Like, this is limestone, but I always use it just as marble. And then have a flat top. No, not like that. So. Don't want to stop building because I don't think I will have this much luck tomorrow. Like, do any of you guys ever have that where you're just like, everything sort of just works? Yes, the low patch intersect, but it works. Now I'm really afraid that I somehow cursed myself in some way or another. Like, I'm just waiting for lightning to hit me now. Get brown. Almost the same. That's the right color. It's not sticking through. Good. I think for this one, besides the lower part. Oh. This. Then this one, make it a slightly thicker. How many pieces are in there? That's always the surprise when I think I added one back. Nope. I thought I pressed C, but nope. Oh yes, I paused Valhalla. Sometimes I forget to pause it, and I think Valhalla is the one where I still have like animal breeding on. Which would be funny if it wasn't going to make me end up with like 40 war dogs. I constantly forget to press set or control. I always just say Central. And just click some random sticks. Just to break the symmetry a little bit. Something just a little bit smaller than that though. That's not smaller. in a way it actually works. Let me just give me. Alright, it played the same thing twice. So remind me not to use this playlist again. So happy. How many of these are in there? Oh, not that many. This is why you start from the bottom, peeps. It's always better to build from the bottom up. Luckily we have a flashlight. Does sound like I have the game unpaused because I thought I heard like a bird. But then Valhalla doesn't have birds. So it just confuses me. Just going to pick this $1 before it returns to the normal. No idea what that sound is. There it is. Whoa. It reminds me of something. But I don't know exactly what. So I also just realized that I did this all now with no reference picture. Well, no reference picture. I used a tiny one that I see on the preview for the stream. The only thing is it's not connected to the building. There's still one inside this thing. Where there's still like a thing inside this thing. That's very descriptive, I know. There it is. So. Needs to be a bit higher. I now understand fully though why correct. So why the lower part of this building isn't that detailed. And then let's move it. Let's like that. So. One, two. I love this building. It's so insane though. I might have made these things too long. Or at least the underside of these things. And I should probably connect these a little bit more. Like I think they're now a little bit too... Yeah, I think that was actually better. Because then it makes the tower look a little bit slimmer. But I now don't have this selected, so I can't really change it too much. Get it the same height. So. Yeah, I think that looks better. And I don't plan on having these all the way around. So just in case, like if I plan to have them all the way around, it's better that I have one in storage basically. Let's see actually how it looks if I have them all the way around. Probably not the greatest, because I think then it will go into the place of ridiculousness. I mean, it's not too bad. Just going to remove this. This is just so that I can see how it looks. Also stopping the recording. This is, I think, the first stream that I streamed for 3 hours. I think it's a bit insane of a building. But it just works so well here. Where's the viewing point? I think it's a bit insane of a building. But I can't lie, it does add a lot of good height to the place. I do think that the 4 spires might be a little bit too much though. Maybe. Oh wait, and it needs to actually be even higher because now half of the building is sunk in. Not that that really changed too much. Torstead is really becoming a place of spires. Let's add some sunlight. Although I don't think... Well, this is the most sunlight that this building will get. I really like these. Also, I just thought that my game crashed. Wouldn't be the first time. Whoa. Yeah, it's bigger than the tavern. Somehow it just still made it into one building though. The tavern is 2. I love this building. I'm in a tree. And just because of this wooden base of the tower, it also blends it in with the rest. Although you can really see... Alright, I'm going to stop the music because I'm getting slightly insane from it. But you can really see where I had no inspiration, or not as much, and all of the inspiration. I like this view. I am just aimlessly wandering around by now, but just this view. Like, this is the view that you get when you go through the city gates, or when I eventually built the city gates. Or town gates. But just this view. And it does feel like a medieval place with how close the buildings are to each other. Yep, I like it. I am going to place it back though, because... Oh, wait. I need to take a screenshot. And this is just a brewery. Like, this is not supposed to be like some kind of office or something. I just want to take this screenshot. It's only that the roof of that building is in the way. And saved. Ooh, sun. This is, I think, one of the reasons why I will never go back to Plant Coaster. Just the lighting and everything. I'm just taking screenshots because this is the... like I really was thinking like, oh, this is going to be too big or it's not going to work in this place, but it's like just the right size. Even if I add this extension to the side that's in the reference, it still will work. Because then it will just be like this. Then this side is even more imposing actually, because you have just that bit of the tower. Also, like I call myself a squirrel, so the immediate thing is like, how do I climb this building? Just think of this, you just somehow get onto the roof of the smithy, you jump on this, grab this, and just climb your way up. Yeah. You guys think I didn't think of like, how am I going to climb this building? Yeah. I'm just constantly taking screenshots now. It's like, I constantly find a view that's like, yes. But now I'm going to take it back to its original position, just so that in the next stream I don't have to move it again. And in between streams I will think of like, will I add all of these towers or will I remove the back too? But while I'm doing that, I should remove these, because it's easier to add them than remove them, just because they're like, I think these towers are right now the heaviest when it comes to the piece count. Like, I really love these. It's just because they look aged. Like, that's the thing with Planet Zoo buildings. A lot of them really... It's really difficult to make buildings look old. But these spires look old. They look like they've been there for at least like 100 years. Like, the wood looks aged. And that's a really hard thing to achieve with buildings in Planet Zoo, to get that aged look. But anyway, as I said, that's going to be the last thing that I'm going to do for today. I might end up streaming again tomorrow because I really like this building. But anyway, I'm going to leave you here today, guys. So hope you enjoyed the stream, and I will probably see you tomorrow because I will want to finish this building. Maybe also Saturday, because I have no idea how long this is going to take, because we also still need to build an interior for this thing, which is non-functional, but it's going to be pretty. So yeah, that's the main thing with my builds. There's no function to them, but as long as they're pretty, then they do have a function. So anyway, have an amazing day, guys. Bye bye.